quarterfinal number 2. Who's gonna face Mr. Focus in the round of 4? It's gonna be a human. It's gonna be a Chinese human, that's for sure. But who's it gonna be? This is a battle that we've seen throughout the history of Warcraft 3 a lot. Yumiko making it back into the scene versus Infi. And there's quite a story there between the two.
Yeah, over the last couple of years, these two have been at odds with each other. This reaches back to at least 2014. This is when we really got involved with the scene again. But it seems like this feud is even older than that. Infi throughout this whole time has been very active and has been one of the top humans and top players in the world. One of those tier 1 caliber players who are absolutely championship level material. Yumiko, he's been absent for quite a while, but now is back again, playing actively again, and is looking pretty damn good. That I don't want to take that away from him, but he is certainly going into this match as the underdog against his big rival.
I wouldn't call it absent because he was always there, streaming his ladder games and like pretty much like grubby in the West, I would say, like entertaining the viewers with his play. But he's back to competitive now after a 2-year break, pretty much, and make it to WGL right away. His performance there was super entertaining, not too successful. I remember this Human Mirror against Hawk so vividly. One of the best Human Mirrors I've probably ever casted on this match.
Was it that
on this patch?
Knights with mass armor?
Yes, sir. On
Terranas
stand. Oh, that was so beautiful. And yeah, the story between the two, in case you're not familiar, they were practice partners and like brothers for a long time. And then a girl got in the way, and Yumiko couldn't really process the loss of this girl. And so they kind of, Infi and Yumiko, breaking up, and there's a little bit of a hatred going on between the two. If you remember WGL, was it summer or winter? I'm not too sure. Infi versus PCG. There is, like, Infi picked the Beastmaster PCG as well, with a Hawk first, which makes no sense because there's no damage. But Yumiko was at one point of the opinion that a Beastmaster first with Hawk, the scouting ability of that Hawk, gives you such an advantage that it's viable, and Infi making fun of that. So there's a lot of history between the two. This is high stakes.
That was quite a serious troll, and the reason why this had so much impact was because Yumiko was the guy casting the match, which Infi knew. And it was a match that didn't really matter anymore because of the round-robin format. Infi was through anyways. And then with Yumiko casting and him knowing, he went for the Hawk, intentionally poking fun at Yumi. And there was a clip of that as well, where Yumi was just sitting there on the caster desk and not saying anything for like 20 seconds. Because of that little jab. So yeah, there's absolutely at least a bit of bad blood between these two.
Laughing my ass off, Infi pro troll. Yeah, if I guess so. So what do we have? Devotion Aura for Infi. We have a Robot the Magi for Yumiko. So both items very, very good. Tech on the way for Yumiko though, not for Infi. Going a little heavier on the footman. Teching only now. Infi maybe with a better starting position, right next to the mercenary camp, but Yumiko making sure that he can't take advantage of that mercenary camp. So far.
What? No, Yumi is red.
Oh, Infi's red.
No, Yumi is red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that then. Oh, yeah. Then the overlay is wrong. Yeah, then Infi taking faster, and Infi making sure that Yumiko can't take advantage of that mercenary camp.
Yeah, and thanks to the lab kind of close to the opponent, Infi was able to push towards Yumiko there pretty fast, threatened the peasants. I don't think he got a single peasant kill, but he ensured that militia time was forced, and with that got the faster tech. Stream is lagging pretty severely for me. Shaolin, why are you not streaming? Yesterday everything was better.
Well, I got you covered, mate. I have a fluent stream running. So yeah, pretty much Infi just camping around the mercenary camp, but Yumiko is not going for that spot. That opens up the base, and that is quite a few footmen. Remember, how many footmen are enough footmen
9. But that's normally considering fast expansion versus undead. Anyways, quite a few peasants here were hurt earlier in the main, but Yumiko did a pretty good job healing them up with the regeneration scroll again. So not too many easy kills, but if I see that right, 2 corpses, 2 peasant kills here so far. AM plus 12 damage, that's pretty good here in the early stages. But a lot of these footies are quite bruised now. Dude, sometimes it feels like footies are impossible to surround, doesn't it? They're just slipping through every time. Covered in Vaseline.
I know what's helping. Stormbolt of the Mountain King. Mountain King is coming. Close to level 3 is Yumi. Is Infi level 3 already? No, right? He didn't creep pretty much nothing.
He is. I don't know how either. He crept the Knoll camp and the lab.
Yeah. That's not level 3 though. And there's no Tome of Experience anymore on this map.
And maybe he got a footy or 2 or something like that. Yumi now also level 3, reaching his own tier 2 right now. And will be going MK. This is starting to look like the Breaker War that we all know. Still dominates the matchup. This is one of the maps where sometimes we see players moving away from that towards more expansion, more creeping. But for the time being, it certainly does look like Breakers. We're going to start off with a couple of priests first for more healing and for Dispel. Footy Defend here is actually really helpful for creeping with so much piercing damage being involved. Both AMs continue their way towards level 4, which is going to be a big help. Also big items here to drop. Infi finding. Don't see it.
Oh, big mana for Yumi. Remo, on a scale from 1 to 2, how much do you like Breaker Wars?
Well, it's not a 2.
Okay, so Infi creeping up the Mountain King. Nice inventory for Yumi's Archmage, by the way. +5 and Devotion Aura. Pretty much a free defense upgrade for his breakers that kind of forces Infi to use the resources. And also a blacksmith early on. And what's the next one? Can't pick it up. It's
what
Bolt of Giant's Strength. Okay.
You know what I thought of would be also a helpful change to
Here we
fight
go.
Breaker Wars.
Remo balance suggestions.
Yeah, so the big strength of tier 2 mass breakers and MK is like, if you build anything other than breakers, it dies quickly, right? Because the MK comes in, stormbolts it, takes out the targets. Like, for example, if you go rifles or whatever, some kind of valuable units. So that's why breakers are also really good, because they can't get stormbolt, can't be getting killed too easily. So what would help with that is if Staff of Sanctuary was a tier 2 item.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's staff everything in like human versus undead. Nice. We have a creep check here.
Human versus undead is all about footies early. Who matters if they get staffed?
Like, I hope you never write Blizzard an email ever again.
Dude, you didn't even think about it. Staff is only really valuable when you have high-value targets.
Okay. Infi killed the shop, by the way, speaking of breakers, so Yumiko has to replace it. That means breakers a little later. Best idea ever, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be good or if it would be bad. That would need testing. But the good thing with item is always you can balance it depending on how good or bad it is with the gold price. This is why items are much easier to balance, in my opinion, than many other things.
Can we like disable Remo's email account so he can't message Blizzard? That would be nice. The hackers in the world, please.
You know, it might be perhaps good or might be perhaps bad, but what I think needs to be done is testing. And Neo, you sometimes have a bit of an unhealthy attitude because you very quickly discard ideas when, in fact,
just from you.
Well, my main point with this whole thing is we need to be doing something about Breaker Wars. This has been happening for the last 13 years. Enough is enough.
I do agree with that. I mean, TH tried to throw a curveball with a Mountain King first in Mirror.
Didn't he still follow up with Breakers?
The game was over before tier 2, dude.
Yeah, that was that sick game on Echo Isles. But, you know, he's TH. He can sometimes play whatever. And also, I'm pretty sure the top humans would have adjusted by now. But let's focus on what's at hand here. How is Infi's MK almost level 4, by the way? This is level 4, right? He's level 4! What?
Does he get +4 intelligence on that level?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, it's just literal.
But he gets still a nice level up. Another hero who gets +4 stats is Alchemist, by the way. +4 strength on level 5, though.
Ah.
It's level 2 MK versus level 4. This is not fair. It's not fair.
It feels like this entire game is not really fair, as Infi is, stomping Yumiko into the ground. Both have an expansion, but thing is, Infi is ready, and he's mining, and Yumiko investing a lot of resources into it. Summon of the Mountain King to disable him, so the Mountain King of Yumi is safe, but not a single footy anymore.
Oh, Stormball on the AM. If he gets around, he doesn't have a TP. That's close. How in sync are we?
I don't know. Infi is now attacking the expansion. And going to the peasants now, or to the tower. It's a lot of priests, actually. So much healing. So
Mass repair on the tower, trying to keep it alive.
Nope.
Yumiko is coming in with the rest of his forces to defend. It's not that many forces, though. It seems like he really needs militia.
The first breaker is on Yumiko's side. He's losing more and more of his second base. Mana's looking good on the Mountain King as well, but it's only level 2 for him. So yeah, footmen are falling. We have defend on Infi's side. And what is this one breaker doing? Not too much.
It's at least 2 breakers now for Yumi, and 2 also coming in for Infi at the same time. Yumiko almost getting surrounded there on the MK. Surround is closed. There's no getting out. MK is about to die. GG is called. And Infi, the favorite, gets the 1-0.
Yeah, that was not really close, to be honest.
No, that just seemed to go very swimmingly. Delay the tech, get the higher levels, get the expansion faster, have a bit of a bigger army. Straightforward. Of course, if your name is Infi and you've been practicing Human Mirror with TH for the last 10,000 years, you are pretty good.
It's like 5 years before they were playing together. But yeah, super hard for Yumiko to make it work here. Infi, a god amongst humans. Maybe the only human who can threaten him is sometimes Hawk if he's in really good shape, and Fortitude.
You were about to say romantic, weren't you?
No! It's 2020! It's Fortitude.
Yeah,
We
I
still
agree.
have no solution for 120/Ero though. It's so weird if we say 120, but it is like written ERO or ERling.
But isn't ERling literally Chinese for 120?
Yes.
So we can say 120 as well. It's literally his name.
Yeah, but isn't it confusing for the viewers if it says ERO and we say ERling? Maybe
What?
the viewers have to step up their Chinese.
I'm not gonna say ERling, dude. That sounds dumb.
I can force you.
No.
Of course. If you say 120 2 times, boom, Discord closed. Solo cast, here we go.
You can include like a soundboard. Every time you anticipate me to say 120, you press a button, ERling.
I would love to have a soundboard actually, like Slash back in the day. Boots. It was fun. No, it's actually super annoying. Oh, apparently viewers are educated and say it's not confusing at all. That surprises me. Yeah. We got a couple of YouTube comments already towards renaming the pros. And people don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't pronounce every pro's name exactly the way it's written. Like, we also don't say TH Ling Ling Ling.
Yeah.
Or Ling Ling Ling. We just say TH because it sounds better, it's shorter, it makes more sense for an English audience.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you to Will Q, by the way, for the 14-month resub. But yeah, it took some time until we renamed Romantic also on Liquipedia to rename him to Fortitude, but since his comeback, he's sticking to this nickname. It's been 7 months, and I think it's time. With 2020, it was kind of a cool timing to make a clean cut.
Yeah. And with Fortitude makes a lot of sense. Also with Mr. Winner and who else was it? Michael.
Yeah, Michael and Thunder.
And Thunder still needs to be changed, I believe. But 120, it's just a language thing. Like, I'm gonna stick with 120.
How do Chinese streamers say TH? They call him Ling Ling Ling. So, map number 2 is Last Refuge coming up.
Although apparently some nowadays call him 000 instead of 000.
Oh.
Because he's been gaining a bit of weight.
Oh yeah, the big O, right? Like capital
Yeah.
letters. Oh yeah. Chinese audience is so savage. Like you gain 5 kilograms of weight or something, boom, Chinese audience. I think they never made fun of his beard though. That was more of a Western thing. His 3 beard hairs. You remember?
Yeah. I was glad when he shaved them finally.
Some casters call him Thu. Yeah, that is what we like. Casters called him when he made a splash into the scene, but they educated casters pretty quickly abandoned that.
Yeah, I think TH is a good handle. It's also pretty iconic in my opinion. So, map 2. TH is not involved here. No, it's Infi.
No.
Going up against Yumiko. Infi with the lead as we were expecting. Starting in the top right. In the red. On LR, this is the one map where fast expansion is pretty normal. I wouldn't say it's meta. I would love to have stats actually on this, on the pros.
Yeah.
What's the percentage of fast expansion play on LR?
I really don't. I can't seem to find a pattern. When do you expand? When do you attack? When do you go for the mercenary camp? Like, what is it that decides the pros' actions on on Last Refuge? It seems so random, but it definitely isn't.
Personal preference, of course, always comes in. Some players like to fast expand, some don't. Also, scouting comes in. You see what your opponent is doing, and you think you can punish that in a certain way. And also, sometimes a bit of mind games. What does he think I'm doing? What do I think he's about to do? Stuff like that. But Infi always has stood out to me as a fast expanding player. Wouldn't be too surprised to see it here. Merc Camp will most certainly be getting taken. Question is just when. Some humans like to go for Merc Camp first. Some humans like to go for green into Merc Camp. But with the footy pull in position, it seems like Merc Camp first is going to be the attempt here.
Yeah, that's the norm. Oh. How to
footy almost runs into the natural gold mine, by the way. Oh, that was super close for Infi. That's also weird in Warcraft, right? Some creep camps have a massive aggro range and some have a really small one. Is that something you can... I mean, obviously you must, right? You can manually change when you make the map.
Yeah, it's usually if it's protecting a gold mine or not. Then if it's protecting a gold mine, it usually has a bigger aggro range. It's kind of weird though.
Is there any other camps which have really big aggro range without gold mine? I'm trying to think of it right now.
Thank you, Mantisius, for the 713 sub.
You cannot change it manually. Oh, really? So it's just the gold mine that influences it? That's interesting.
You can change it manually. I'm 100% sure.
Because it seems like some camps, like you're 100 range away and you still don't have aggro.
Yes.
Like, for example, here, the green camp, the High Priest, that has such a tiny aggro range on LR.
Not on melee maps. So if you change it, it becomes a non-melee map? World editor and back to Warcraft, man. That is not a good relationship.
Because the aggro works as a circle and usually trees block it. But if it works as a circle, the aggro should still be protruding out forward away from the tree line. That sounds like a whole science in itself, man. I don't know how that works.
Thank you, Ben, aka Jason, for the 3213 sub. Clappy Hype number 32. Clappy.
Oh, yeah, the aggro from the wrong side of the tree camp on Amazonia. But I think that has been patched out, right? I haven't seen that in forever. You know, when you creep the Murlocs outside your main and then the kobolds start moving.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since Keeper days.
By the way, no expansion here from either of the players, which really surprised me. I was expecting at least one. But no, we have one base. Tech here. Of course, both supported with Mercs. Yumiko, 2 Shadow Priests already very valuable early on against the Watch Elemental, and if you can keep them alive until the later stages, that's very good. Hard to do, as they are so squishy, 240 HP. Kind of crazy, right, how squishy they are? They have health just like a worker. It's less than a ghoul. Quite a bit less than a ghoul.
Gotta be careful with them.
Oh.
Again, the overlay is a little wrong, so Yumiko is in the red, trapping Infi here, but he got the staff, claws, and Scourge Bone Champ. Keeps him for a long time.
You can switch between normal aggro range, which is either 500 or 600. Okay, so that's already not correct. I mean, perhaps it says that, but normal aggro range is way less than 500.
Let's see.
500 is the attack range of a fiend.
Here we go. Infi going into the base. Yumiko town portaling home. That's 350 gold you don't want to spend. And he's not getting a single kill. Infi saving all his workers.
Okay, sometimes there's weird camps with 200. So it's 500, 600, 800, or 200. Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm just going to remember what the separate camps are.
I'm not going to remember anything of this podcast.
Just like last night?
Just like last night. No, I do remember quite some stuff. Which, I don't know if that's good, actually.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know if you're better off forgetting what you did or,
Yeah.
or at least not having to be told by someone the nonsense that you did.
No one was laughing at me, so that's already a good sign. So far, at least.
So tier 2 has arrived. We have MK coming and breakers. Infi's footy numbers seem quite low here, but he steals away the merchant. That's a big deal.
Infi is so dominant on this map. He's dictating the pace of this game. Like, he's the one being aggressive. He's the one forcing Yumiko back. He's the one getting camps close to Yumiko's base. Yumi needs, like, I don't know, something. And this creepjack with end snare could be this something.
1 kill for level 4. Gets it. Infi is in the same boat. Needs 1 more kill for level 4. Really like the staff. He can abuse with that thing so hard. But the MK comes out, forces the Stormbolt on the AM. Not trying to go for the staff right after the Stormbolt. That could have been good enough, but dangerous.
Infi's expanding, right? At the bottom right. There we see it. Oh, it's the real Archmage being threatened by Infi's force. So he's delaying this expansion at least.
Classic Infi play. Run by with the AM into the main, summon water elementals, be annoying with the tele staff. He's very low here, so that's kind of scary, but he's got the heal pot. And cancels the shop, delaying the breakers. I remember when, I think it was WCA days, Yaws for the first time said that, and I never knew it before, and I thought to myself, oh my god, you're such a noob. How did you not know that before, that the breakers require a shop?
Yeah, tech trees are quite important to know as a caster. For Night Elf, I don't really know it still.
Yeah, it gets really weird when the main buildings die.
Yeah.
But I know about the bears. And, well, that's kind of it.
We're the best casters this game has to offer.
Especially today.
Hey! I'm doing okay, I feel. Come on, say something.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Thanks.
I mean, think back to Jera Cup days when I sometimes spit beer across the screen because you made me laugh so hard. And I may have been a little bit hungover, perhaps.
Perhaps, yes. Oh, Mana Stone. Good inventory for Infi.
Dude, Jera Cup days are a long time ago, aren't they? Chat,
I don't
when was the last Jera Cup? Alright,
Yeah.
let's guess here, Neo. When was the last Jera Cup? I think it
2000.
was...
Huh?
I think it was... yes, you say first.
No. You go first.
2017.
That's an entire year. You can just point a year.
Well, what year would you have picked?
Also 2017. Or was it 18? Oh no, I think it was 18, actually. I think it's 18.
Okay. Guys, was it 18 or 17?
18! January 21st!
January. Okay, I was really close.
Yeah, but I was right.
By 21 days. 22 days.
Remo, it's your birthday soon, right?
Yes!
You're getting older.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah. Are you celebrating?
Yeah, of course.
Did you send out the invitations yet?
Nope.
Okay. I was worried for a second that I didn't get the invite.
Dude, you won't even come to Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival. That's for losers, but your birthday, that's where the big boys play.
Absolutely. My birthday has always been known to be wilder of a party than Carnival.
Indeed.
Precisely. Dude, look at the expansion by Infi. Are you crazy? Right in Yumi's face.
I mean, Yumiko is doing the same, right? On the bottom right. Not really in his face, but...
I didn't see that yet.
It's a little easier to defend, of course, if you have the high ground.
Be careful, Anakin. He has the high ground.
We have quite some viewers from Mainz. Would you state a public invitation to your birthday party here on stream?
I don't know. I don't know that I want to do that, dude.
I mean, do you have people knocking on your window already?
Yeah, that was quite funny. Nah, I think that's a little awkward. Nah, thanks. Stoneball dodge with the invul. But MK is still low HP here for Yumi. And Infi, he's full mana after that mana stone being eaten. Once again, we wonder, how does that taste? Probably not too good.
You know you don't consume it orally, right? That's what we learned from one of the past.
Very good, Neo. Very good. ESL, in case you're watching, we are up for hire. But again, Infi here is looking pretty damn dominant. Once more, Yumiko finds himself with a much smaller force and with heroes in much more trouble. Only 3 breakers. That does not quite seem to be enough. The 2 priests in the back. Not liking Yumi's chances here.
No, especially not with the Mountain King so close to dying. He has nothing in his inventory. Infi, 2 claws, packs quite a punch. He's storming the high ground. He's trying to get rid of this economy. Army is so tanky still. What's Yumiko supposed to do?
MK still in trouble. He's flirting with that Stormbolt.
GG.
Surprised that Infi isn't attempting it. GG.
We were a little bit slower today. Not only today. We were in general a little bit slower than the common folk. Yeah, that was very one-sided, as we expected. Human Mirror is sometimes not too interesting, and this was just a very dominant Infi from the get-go. And he's meeting Focus in the semifinal.
That should make for a more interesting game. Infi versus the top orcs, always a pleasure. Think back to last year when we had plenty of encounters between Infi and Lin, which were so amazing, where we could see the meta unfold and develop right before our eyes. And I wonder what these two are going to show us tomorrow in the semifinal between Focus and Infi.
Chat is wondering why the Archmage was trying to cast Blizzard, because that is when you have the Warsong Battle Drums and your hero has a channeling spell, the Warsong Battle Drums, for some reason, trigger this channeling animation, which is another bug that Blizzard has to get fixed. So, yeah, that is the top part of the bracket, and now things get really, really interesting. Focus eliminating Remind, Infi eliminating Yumiko. So this is the first semifinal for tomorrow. Now we go to the very bottom part of the bracket, Sock versus Elegant. One of the most, the most exciting humans on the Planet against Elegant, who is the rising Night Elf force, surpassing Colorful as the best Chinese Night Elf at the moment, and then the most hyped Undead Mirror between Happy and Yarling. So stay tuned. We have 2 more matches here with the quarterfinals of the Huya Super League. Stay tuned.